Hello everyone, my name is Idiotic Synergy, and today we are having a look at Nemesor Zandrekh. I have a soft spot for this robot. I fucking love him. In the lore, he's great. He's basically he's basically a Necron. I shouldn't say robot because Necrons aren't robots technically, but he's a Necron who thinks he's still flesh and blood, and I love him, and I love his little bodyguard Vargard Oberyn, and I think you should always pair them together because they're just the best. And I love what he does in game. In game, he's really good. The lore for him is really good. Hell, even his model has a charm to him, even though it's fine cast resin. And yes, I know I'm biased as shit. Leave me alone. It comes in 3 components, but I'm not going to let that spoil my fun. Yes, I'm biased, but it's Nemesor Zandrekh. You can't be mean to Nemesor Zandrekh, the robot Necron man who thinks he can still eat food. He still thinks he can sleep. I just the happiest, goofiest fucker in the Necron army, and I love him. He's one of those characters you read about and it's just joyous. It's just joyous. The guy just, he doesn't, he's just the best. He doesn't like using destroyers because it's not honourable. He still thinks he should charge into battle. He's got a bodyguard that acts as his carer, and it's just the best. It's just the best, especially as you learn that Vargard Oberyn and Nemesor Zandrekh have been close friends since the start. Even before they were Necrons, even when they were Necron tier, they used to fight together as friends, and I like it. I like it. I'm sorry, but this is just my favourite Necron. I don't care what anyone says, this is the best Necron. Yes, I know the Silent King is really good. Yes, I know there's better choices. Nemesor Zandrekh and his bodyguard Vargard Oberyn are the best, and I want them. I generally want them. I want them both, and I'm not going to start a Necron army until I just have 2 of those models, and everything else is immaterial. I don't care what the other Necrons I ever collect are. These 2 are a must for my ever-increasing schizophrenic Warhammer collection of miscellaneous shit. I really like them. They're just the best, and they're so joyous, and he still thinks he's human, or flesh and blood. It's just fun. It just is fun. I mean, hell, he got a White Scars captain and tried to feed him. Why wouldn't you want this character in your game? He's the fucking best. He's the best, and his bodyguard slash carer is just the best as well. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to have to show you the rules because otherwise I'll just ramble about the lore of this character, and I want to do a separate video on that because the lore of Nemesor Zandrekh is just the best, and I want to do a separate video on that. So let's jump into the rules, shall we? So these are the rules for Nemesor Zandrekh, and they are quite good. He might not be the most punchiest of Necron characters, however, he's got some really interesting abilities. However, we need to go through his stats first. So, movement 6, weapon skill and ballistic skill is a 2, strength and toughness 5, wound 6, 4, attacks, leadership 10, and he has a 2-up save. That turns into a 4-up invulnerable, so he's quite tough. He is surprisingly tough and kind of fast for a million-year-old Necron man. Yeah, it's just really funny. I mean, movement 6 is quite surprising, if I'm being honest, because, he is just this really old, dementia-ridden man. But, he likes moving about, that's fine. Staff of Light is a really common Necron Overlord weapon. You can either shoot it, or use it in melee, or do both if you so desire. Its shooting profile is Assault 3, Strength 5, AP-2, Damage 1, and the Staff of Light in melee is Strength 5, AP-2, Damage 1. It's the exact same profile, and it's kind of a mid-weapon. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. However, you often do pair him with Vargard Oberyn, and Vargard Oberyn does all the attacking because it's Vargard Oberyn. Of course he does. However, this guy comes into his own with the abilities. He has got My Will Be Done, where you select one Necron core unit within 9 inches of this model and add one to that attack's hit roll. And core units include the Doomsday Ark and the Heavy Destroyers. Yeah, core Doomsday Ark. It's really powerful, that, and surprisingly not enough people bring Doomsday Arcs, because it is quite swingy. The other ability he has is Relentless March, which is an aura, which you can turn off using Vox Scream. Sorry about that, I have to mention Vox Scream because it is a really fun stratagem. Basically, you add one to the move characteristic of models in that unit, which is really useful, as Necron Flayed ones are core as well, so you can just really buff up your Necron Flayed ones, and they're also quite good. Surprisingly good. There's a few Necron units that are surprisingly good. However, the main ability that I really like, well, there's two of them, is Transient Madness and Counter Tactics. Counter Tactics is a good one, and I have been a victim of Counter Tactics before. Once per battle, when your opponent declares they will use a stratagem during a battle round, but before any command points are spent, this model can engage its Counter Tactics. If it does, your opponent cannot use that stratagem this battle round. Basically, if you use, I don't know, say Vox Scream, it just turns that off. In fact, it turns off any stratagem. So say if you've got somebody that likes to use transhuman physiology, you turn that shit off. It is so powerful. And I'm glad that it's once per battle because it's quite balanced. If it was once per round, nothing would get done. Nothing would get done. You would just constantly be in a state of hell. But yeah, you can just turn off transhuman physiology. Transhuman physiology. I didn't even try with that word, just transhuman physiology. Sounded drunk, Jesus Christ. Anyway, the other ability I really like, you don't have to turn off transhuman physiology. You can turn off any stratagem in game. I'm only aware of transhuman physiology because that one gets played every fucking time. Anyway, Transient Madness is a misunderstood rule because people think that if you fail to roll under a leadership, it doesn't go off. It does. All you have to do then is roll 1d3. The rule states that you select one core unit. Again, you can you can Doomsday Arc. You can apply it to a Doomsday Arc within 9 inches of this model and roll 3d6. If the total is less than this model's leadership characteristic, you can select one of the results below to apply that result. Otherwise, roll 1d3 to determine which of the results below apply to that unit. So, no matter what, it will go off. However, if you roll lower than your leadership, which is leadership 10, so it's quite high, then you get to choose what you can do. However, if you fail and roll over your leadership, then you can, then it's a random d3 chance. And it's quite good. It is really quite good. Yeah, it's really quite good. Basically, you can also combine this with my Will Be Done because it's two separate abilities. It's just evil. You can just buff up a Doomsday Arc so it shoots on 2s with this. Avenge the Fallen until the start of your next command phase. Add 1 to the attack's characteristic of models in that unit. With Flayed ones, you're just laughing because Flayed ones are Flayed ones. And that's quite brutal with Flayed ones. Quell the Rebellion until the start of your next command phase. Improve the ballistic skill of that model in that unit by 1. And Solar Mill's Charge, which is my personal favourite. And yeah, you can't use that for Vargard Oberyn, sadly. But it is one of my personal favourite ones. Until the start of your next command phase, you can reroll charge rolls made for that unit. So yeah, if you've got some flayed ones, or if you've got some Doomsday Arcs, or whatever, or Lich Guard, or whatever you got, you can basically buff them to your heart's content. It is really good, especially when combined with Relentless March, and if you're lucky enough to choose, and you got some Necron flayed ones or whatever, then this works hand in hand. And it's a really, really good unit. Also, the 4-up invulnerable save, but I've already said that. Now, it has got a specific Warlord trait. Each time this Warlord makes a melee attack, he can reroll the wound roll. Yeah, Nemesor Zandrekh doesn't really do melee. That's usually Vargard Oberyn's job. And I'll talk about Vargard Oberyn tomorrow, because he is really fucking good in game. Seriously, he's brilliant in game. And he's got a couple of really decent rules. He's really tough as well. Anyway, I'll get into Vargard Oberyn tomorrow. I will see you later. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now. I hope you enjoyed. See you later.